Morning, folks. This shave is from Lee, excuse me, Lee Soapworks. It's called the Kraken. I guess you might call it a fresh aquatic scent. It smells great. And you see there's some blue in it, and the soap did it did lather up in has a blue tinge to it. It's really nice fresh scent. Got the alum block complete with rubber band here. Unscented witch hazel mentholated. I'm going to follow up with Master's Aftershave Master Blue. And I still have, this bottle here was fairly full of the Cremo beard oil. Scent is tea tree mint. Went ahead and when I took the picture, decided I'd take it in the cube here in the form that it comes in, and pop the top here. And if I get to, there we go. That's what it looks like inside there. So you have base plate, the cap. I've already got it loaded with the two blades there, just like same plates I used yesterday. The Personna X series for the top blade that is, and the bottom one is the Astra Superior Platinum. You can see that the safety bars on both sides on this one here. Got the post, and there's a little nut there that comes down through the bottom, and there's your two-piece handle right there. It's a pretty cool setup. Just a teeny tiny cube there, and this is how it goes together here. And that makes up your handle there. And the handle fits right inside that nut right there. It goes right up inside there. There it is, complete. Pretty cool. I like it. Nice looking travel design. I've already put a hot towel to the face, and I think I forgot to take my watch off. I've got it whipped up over here in my handy dandy bowl. The lather whipped up pretty easy. Is something that I do when I lather up my my soap, is I watch as I lather it and the consistency and how it lathers. And after a while, this is a boar hair knot, by the way, Omega brush. Soaps lather differently from one soap maker to the next, and I've been able to. I'm noticing the difference on how they do lather up. Cube's is getting a little bit smaller. And I've noticed that some lather similarly, pretty close to each other in how they lather, as well as how they lather with different knots. This boar brush is fairly well broke in. Like some will say, the bristles will get quite soft, and this one here is that way. It's pretty soft. It's one of my first Omega brushes that I bought when I first started. Once again, these usually run right around depending on what time of the year, you can find them on sale from time to time, but usually right around the $12 mark. And this one here, like I say, I've had for a while. The bristles are pretty soft on it. I'll put the scent down below. The scent is present, it is there, but it's not a bold scent, if you will. You can kind of see I whipped it up in a yogurt type consistency. It's a wet lather. Smells great. Like I say, it's just kind of a light scent, but it is definitely present. Not like some of the other soaps I've tried, where it just fills the whole bathroom with the scent. You know, it's not quite like that, but definitely I can smell it. So here we go. Like I said, I've got both blades loaded in there. You can see that it's probably pretty tough to see, but they're there. Alright, here we go. This will be the first shave with this one, by the way. And the shave feel on this one here is different. It's pretty sure yeah, everything lines up like it looks like it should. At least the best I can get it to line up. The for me, as it goes for the shave feel, you can feel the blades cutting through the whiskers, but it's not pulling. It's just that you can just feel it coming through. A little different than just one single blade coming through it. I think that's the beauty of this particular design, is that with the two blades, it seems to give a very efficient shave. For me, it's very similar to the non-travel version, if you will. There is some feedback. I think tomorrow I'm going to give it a try with just a single blade. See how it shaves with just a single blade. That'd be interesting. My cheeks are fairly smooth, but the like I said before, down here in the, I guess you might say, the more difficult spots. I guess I could go ahead and try and do a 3-pass shave to see how it turns out. At first, the first pass though is pretty efficient. We'll go ahead and give it a 3-pass, see how it works. Yesterday's shave was just a 2-pass. I can give it a 3-pass and see how my face turns out. It's definitely an interesting shave. I enjoy trying stuff like this. You don't know until you try it. Andy left a comment discussing his experiences with the shaver also. I guess you might say, for those that are willing to try something that's new or different. Definitely worth the experience. I have to say the across the grain is definitely a different experience than with the grain. Of course, you know, you've already reduced some of the braid, some of the beard reduction has already been done. That's still pretty smooth though. What I'm going through in my mind is, what I'm thinking is comparing it to my past experiences with just a single edge with some of my shavers. How does that feel in the blade reduction? Let's say, for instance, like an R44 or 41, that is, and any other of the efficient shavers that are out there. Douglas's open comb slant bakelite. That's a very efficient shaver. It's not that efficient. That's what I should say. Definitely doesn't feel aggressive. It's just the blade feel is there. And for me, oddly enough, the blade feel with the grain is where you feel it the most, but against the grain, it's a much different shave. In other words, by the time you get to that part, your against the grain shave is a lot smoother because there's just not that much left to get. Smoother in that you don't really feel the blades, you know, cutting through the whiskers. There we go. That's a good way of putting it. There is a benefit of doing this before you do a video. That way it's a little bit easier for you to stop and collect your thoughts on what you're feeling. This is going to be very smooth when I'm done, that's for sure. In other words, I'm trying to achieve BBS just by doing your normal 3-pass shave. I think this one here will definitely get you darn close, if not there. Right through there. Both sides are like that. Normally it doesn't take much. The direction that the hair grows, the whiskers, you do a quick little angle pass through there, that takes care of it. And you normally, even for 2 or 3 days, it's not all that noticeable. Maybe on the 3rd day it might be where you might want to catch it going different directions. Using the 2 different blades, to be honest with you, I can't tell the difference in between the top blade and the bottom blade going through it. My experience has been with Astra as well as the Personna blades. They're very similar in how smooth they shave. So in other words, I really don't notice the difference in between the 2 blades. Not a marked noticeable difference. I normally shave with the blade one and done, so if there might be the marked differences after the 2nd or 3rd shave with that blade, that might be where the difference really comes in between the 2 blades. But just a single shave with them, I've never really noticed that much of a difference. Face feeling pretty smooth though. That's post-shave feels pretty nice too. There's enough of the residual slickness of the soap that if you were to just stop right there with your shave, your face should feel pretty good. At least mine does. That's a pretty good shave. There's just a little bit left here or there, but hey, this is definitely a good shave for a Saturday morning. Here's my alum block. That's what's left of it. You kind of see the rubber band. There's here pretty soon. I'm going to have to take that rubber band off in order to get to the rest of the alum block, which will be quite a challenge because this is the only alum block I've tried so far, and I've always had the rubber band on it. So taking the rubber band off will be an experience for me. In other words, this thing slip out of my hand, I know it's going to end up in a million pieces everywhere. Just got a little bit of steam, but I don't notice any weepers or anything like that. And my neck, usually that's where irritation will show up, is on my neck, and I don't feel any irritation with a 3-pass shave with it. Witch hazel. Always I guess you might say quite an experience when you shave with a shaver like this. One that's very efficient. Menthol feels good in the morning. I guess you might call it an eye opener. Or it'll start watering, one of the two. Your face feels good. It's a good shave. If you haven't seen these, I'll put a link down below for these aftershaves here. They're pretty inexpensive. What is it, $1.95 for the small bottle like this, which is 3 ounces, and that's pretty inexpensive. It's oh, that's what the stricter looks like there. It's a fairly small one. Last time I used Master's aftershaves, always leave my face feeling pretty good too. Yeah, this is, if you're looking for an inexpensive aftershave, one that's not going to break the bank, and looking for a smaller, because it comes in more than one size, but this one here is nice and small if you're looking at not too sure if you're going to like it, don't want to buy the big one. At a couple of bucks, that's pretty inexpensive. Definitely worth a try. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. Face is feeling really good. I'll go ahead and take this apart here. It's very similar to what it was yesterday. The biggest difference is the nut right there. Like I said, that handle, when you install it, it goes right up inside there. This is very similar to the shaver yesterday, in that you don't want to over tighten this because it'll cause the blades to bow. Blades and bow. There you go, that's what that nut looks like. And it only installs, if you're wanting the handle to fit up in there, it's only going to install one way. Something to keep in mind when you're putting it together. There's the base plate right there, is what it looks like on the bottom. And this one different is made just a tad bit different. Should point that out. The one with the open comb on one side and the safety bar on the other, you'll notice how these parts right here, the base plate, come up. It only comes up on the safety bar side, but on the open comb side it does not come up near as high. And this one here does it on both sides, and I'm assuming that's the way it was designed. Not sure why, but that is how it is. Here's what it looks like on the bottom. There's my Astra blade on the bottom there. And this one here, just like the one yesterday, has a spacer plate, if you will. And you kind of see how it fits right down in those, I guess you might say, the top notch. That's what the blades look like on the inside. Those are Personna exterior blades. They're already pre-cut as it goes for in half. And for me to get it to sit down in there, I had to cut the ends of the blades off in order to get to sit in there right. So I don't know if it's the design of this one here. Not the design, it's just how it's manufactured. I'm sure it wasn't designed that way. I don't know if you can see the, there we go, we'll do it that way. You can see how it's the notch. There's two different levels there. One for the top plate and then for the bottom plate. So tomorrow, in other words, what I plan on doing with this same shaver is I'm going to put the plate in like that and then put the blade on the bottom and give it a try and see how it works. Because it does say in the instructions, at least on the website, that you can use it as a single edge also. So in other words, if the two blades is not your thing, which I would understand, maybe the single is, I'll give it a try tomorrow and see how it works out. Just still though, really nice shave, even with the two blades in it. Didn't get any irritation, weepers, nicks, or anything like that. It's after you get past, for me, my experience is after you get past the first with the grain, after that, it just seems like a much smoother shave after that. At any rate, hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.